In this episode, I'm going to be talking about how to kill the fear of selling within 24 hours. Now, if the word sales actually makes your stomach tighten up, then this episode is for you. Because I can tell you as an introvert, I've had those episodes where I can just get nervous about the word sell. And I think there is a simple truth that we need to look at because it's going to change with a mindset of having a different approach to sales. Most likely, you have had some sort of sales experience in the past where you have felt like you've been pushed or maybe even manipulated into trying to buy something. But this is going to be completely different. We're going to be looking at this in a completely different way. So, what do we need to do? Well, the fear of selling actually comes down to identity. Now, what do I mean by identity? A lot of times, going back to that probably mindset that you have initially or right now, is that you have to force somebody in order to do something that they don't want to do. But this is the identity. You need to not sell, but you need to persuade. There is a desperation that repels trust whenever you try to force somebody to buy something. But if you come to a customer relationship and you come at it as a guide or as a trusted advisor, then the whole conversation just shifts. Your whole body probably will change, and your attitude and your presentation to the customer because of this one mindset. And it is that powerful of a mindset, becoming the trusted guide. So most people, again, associate the sales with a lot of pressure, manipulation. There is this inner resistance. The deeper fear is that if they do say no, then you're a total failure. But if you start with this mindset of being a guide, this is where you can help your customer overcome the problem that they're facing. So think of it like this. If you were a doctor and you're trying to diagnose a problem that your patient has, well, you would start out with asking some questions. But if your motivation is to get them into surgery, but you're not sure if they are going to believe you because you're talking about all of the benefits of the procedure, of the surgery, you're not telling them why. You're not telling them why they actually need this procedure, this surgery, and they have really a lot of questions, and they don't trust what you're saying because you are approaching it in a completely different mindset. But imagine if you take your mindset and you come at it with a mindset of compassion and empathy, actually understanding what is going to be the benefit of this procedure for your client. Now, whenever you are in sales, it's the same thing. You have to look at the end result for your client because that's really what they're wanting. They're wanting the payoff. They are wanting to know that whatever you have, your solution, number one, can you actually help me? And number two, does your solution actually get me from point A to point B? When you talk about how your solution can actually get them to that point B, now you are talking in a way that they can understand because that is the desired outcome. So whenever you approach a customer, you need to talk to them as a trusted guide. Now, how to kill your fear within 24 hours. There is this first step, this shift in intention to change your mindset from just a salesperson to a trusted guide, to a trusted advisor, to a friend, because people need to know that you actually care about them. So transform your mindset. And people don't buy when they feel like you're not concerned. People buy majority of the time based upon emotion, and they want to know that, hey, there is actually somebody out there that can help me overcome my problem. Listening to what the customer is saying, asking questions is a great way for you to start building that trust. And that is probably a lot more important than just trying to pitch the features of whatever your product or solution is. So by the time that you start asking questions, you start gaining more clarity in what is needed. And whenever you understand the clarity, then you can start building into confidence. And it's not about pressuring them. It's about you coming alongside of them to help get their desired outcome. So here are some common objections. So can I sell without being pushy? Of course. You don't want to be the one that is trying to manipulate them into doing something against their will, because chances are they are not going to purchase. They're not going to buy because they feel forced to do it. But if you can change your mindset and help paint the picture of the emotion of what the payoff is, how they can benefit from your solution, then you will start earning trust. And whenever that feeling, whenever you expose that feeling of what it's going to be like, that actually frames them into more of a position to purchase from you. So the next one is, what if I get nervous right before a sales call? Okay, I have to tell you, I have had so many times where I have just maybe stared off into space, I guess, a little bit, and just trying to reflect on, oh my goodness, Jeff, you've got to calm down. You've got to just relax before you go into this phone call. Your heart is probably racing. You start to get all of these thoughts of like, oh my goodness, what am I doing? How can I ever do this? I've been there. And as an introvert, yeah, those are real things and probably real for a lot of people. But remember, if you change your mindset of like as a trusted friend and approach the phone call as, yeah, this is something that I can actually help them with, that really dissipates all of those fears that you have, because now you are approaching it in a totally different way. And I hope that you're hearing this. I hope that you're understanding that, again, it's not coming at a perspective or a emphasis to push them into doing something, but you are actually revealing something that they need. They're just looking for a solution. They're just looking for an answer. And if you come across as that trusted friend and talk to them just as a trusted friend, man, that puts you into a totally different mindset, because you talk to your friends all the time. You communicate with them, and your heart doesn't race every time you pick up your phone to text them or to call them or whatever. No, it just becomes a lot more natural. So putting yourself into that mindset is going to help you overcome that fear of that sales call. So what do I do if I don't know the answer? This, I think, plays into one of those fear mindsets that we have. What do I do if I don't know the answer? And the simple answer to that is just be honest. You can always say, hey, listen, I'm not sure exactly what the solution is for that right now, but I'm going to think about this, or give me a little while to kick around some ideas, because I think there might be something, but I need to investigate it just a little bit more. Or you just say, you know what, I really don't know the answer to that, but I'm willing to look for you. If you take on that responsibility to go ahead and do a little bit more research, and you be honest with them up front, they're going to pick up on that honesty. They're not looking necessarily for somebody that is the expert guru in every single thing. And the reality is there's not that kind of person out there. Everybody has their limits to how much they know, what they can do. But again, if you approach it as something that you can be that guide, that you can come alongside of them and just say, you know what, I don't know what it is, but I'm going to do a little bit of digging around and see if I can find a solution for you. When you do that, your confidence, again, is going to grow. You're going to get over that fear, and you're going to build that relationship with them because now they trust you to do what you say. And yes, it is important for you to actually follow through with that. That just kind of goes without saying. So all of these questions, all of these objections, I want you to take into consideration and think about for the next 24 hours. No more fear of selling. This is actually going to come when you start putting these things into action. And that's really what it's going to take. It's going to take you, just like me, an introvert that is hardwired to overcome that introvert position. And trust me, there's nothing wrong with being an introvert, but you have to take that first step in changing your mindset of becoming the trusted guide. So in the next 24 hours, I want you to change your mindset. Begin to make that shift and think about how you can approach your customers. And this is going to change the way that you make your phone calls, your text, your emails, all of your marketing messages. If you change your mindset in the next 24 hours to becoming the guide, you will overcome your fear of selling. Now, this is your time to subscribe to this channel, and I want you to comment in the chat or in the comments below. Let me know what you have put into practice out of this, how to overcome your fear in 24 hours. I'm breaking it down for you. I've given you some action steps, and now I want you to actually put something into action yourself and make it work for you.